This, everybody, don't drink these things. Do not drink Red Bulls. I drink them. You know, the weird thing, to drink these things, okay? Drink them. They're supposed to give you energy. All right? Bullshit. Bullshit. They don't, dude. It's weird. I drink these and I actually feel tired. And I feel like I'm like in a numb state, to be honest. That's why I've kind of stopped drinking energy drinks as a whole, because they make me feel like crap, to be honest. What's up, everybody? I never know when this thing exactly at the like moment it goes live, but what's up, man? It's Marcos Villegas. It's the Fight Up TV live chat for today, November 9th, 2020. What up? What's up, here? What's up, everybody? Welcome one, welcome all. Today we're just gonna randomly go with it. I have obviously a few things that I want to touch on. You know, Canelo versus Plant being talked about, but he's not the only guy like in the running. As well as the what's up, bro? Definitely not money bags. If I was money bags, I wouldn't be doing this. I do this to get money. No Scrooge McDuck here, bro. No Scrooge McDuck. What's up, amen? What's going on, guys? I wanted to touch on this Canelo versus Caleb Plant thing, and then I give you that nickname that's stuck. Good morning. What's up, Paul? Good morning. I know it's like 1 in the morning over there. No, actually, 12, 1. Yeah, it is. It's 1:30 in the morning over there in the UK, so I appreciate that you're staying up to join us right now. What's up, guys? Jackson, Commandant, salute. Slow-mo, what up? Who you got? Caleb. Man, it's an interesting fight. I'm going to get into it. Just to let you guys know, let's get some likes. Let's get some more likes up in here, guys. Let's get some more likes and get a few more people in here. We'll you know how it is with these live chats. We just kind of randomly just talk about whatever the heck we want to talk about. But definitely going to touch on this Caleb Plant Canelo talk. It's not finalized at all. It might not even be the guy that Canelo ends up fighting, to be honest. And Kell Brook versus Terence Crawford. We're going to touch on that as well. And something I don't know. I'm just going to get like a consensus here because this is something that I like a lot. So I'm just going to see if you guys by chance, because if you are, I kind of want to get into it just really, really quick. You guys like The Mandalorian? You guys Mandalorian fans? Have you guys been money back? Have you guys been watching The Mandalorian? Let me know if you have, because I'm going to ask you guys a question about that. Okay, I've seen the first, just one. Is it just one person that watches The Mandalorian? I hope not, because it's a badass show. Let's see. Okay, 2 people now. Man, I can't have a chat on The Mandalorian if it's just 2 people that are watching it. Man, I really wanted to touch on something on the show. I think the show's great, to be honest. Okay, 3, 4, no sir. No, it's on Disney Plus, to be honest. And I just got a monkey emoji. That's pretty cool. Nope, because George Lucas didn't want to go into the Yoda race. First season is better. Well, there's only been 2 episodes so far. All right, I'm just gonna. I watched it. I'm not going to opening admit to it. Okay, all right. Well, you just did, bro. Dude, Baby Yoda is kind of a dick, isn't he? This guy, I don't know if you noticed, okay? Like Baby Yoda, like from the first season, force choked Gina Carano, all right? Been doing like little like shady stuff. Like he'll get angry and like do little things from like the first season. And then this one, this guy, Baby Yoda, starts eating that frog lady's eggs like it's nobody's business. Like he's just snacking on like Reese's Pieces. It's a weird thing. I've been thinking that the whole time. Yoda eat everything in sight. Yoda's moving like, yeah, dude. So like, I don't know. That's kind of worrisome there for those people that watch The Mandalorian. Like, I feel like Baby Yoda might turn out to be evil, man. Like, dark side little Baby Yoda, you know? Like, because he doesn't know, like, what's good or right. Like, he has nobody to kind of, like, guide him, like, with his force powers. So, like, I feel like he's being tempted to, like, more the dark side, especially because he force choked Gina Carano in that first season. And, like, he gets angry when, like, whenever the Mandalorian. I forget the Mandalorian's like name. I know they gave him a name, but whenever he gets like threatened, obviously he goes and tries to protect him. But I don't know, man. Baby Yoda's turned out to be like a little dickhead. I didn't like this last episode. To me, it did nothing to advance the plot. Like you know, and it was weird seeing a frog doing frog stuff and laying little tadpoles in his little jar. Weird episode. I didn't like it at all. I didn't think it did anything to advance the plot. What did we learn in that episode? You know, Baby Yoda be doing things out of the good of his heart. I still think Baby Yoda's a clone. To be honest, this fool's a clone. Not Baby Yoda's gonna eat the Mando. All right, cool. There's some of you guys that like the show. Thank you. Okay, I could finally. I've been wondering this thing, and I have like no one to talk to about like the Mandalorian. Baby Yoda's definitely a clone, for sure. I didn't watch the last one. I don't think I didn't like it. Other people liked this last one. This last episode reminded me of the episode with Bill Burr, where they're in the jail, the little jail ship or whatever it was. That one also as well. It did nothing for me. Like I felt that it didn't really advance the plot. Like, okay, what's the Mandalorian trying to do? The Mandalorian's trying to right now at this point trying to find Boba Fett or another Mandalorian to help figure out who Baby Yoda belongs to. So like this episode, like it was like a side quest. Like you ever play like an RPG and you're like met with like a side quest, like, oh yeah, you got to go catch 15 fish so you could get an elixir to give to your side party in order so they could go and upgrade their armor. Like that's how it felt like with this episode. So yeah, that was my little Mandalorian critiqued of last week's episode. I hope this week's episode is going to be good. But yeah, okay, here we go. Let's get these boxing questions going on. Let's get these likes, bros. We got 54 people here. We should be getting 54 likes. 59 people. We should get 59 likes. All right, so let's boost up the likes, bros. All right. So I worked Fox over the weekend. We saw Luis Ortiz get back in the win column. I spoke to him after the fight. And this is what he told me. He told me he wants an Andy Ruiz fight next. So I think a Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz fight next is phenomenal fight. Great fight. Ortiz didn't really have like a real fight. You know, he fought for like 40 seconds in the first round, knocked the guy out with his forearm. It was really, really weird finish to that fight. It wasn't the best fight either. The guy was way in over his head, to be honest, that fought against him. Just the competition level wasn't there, to be honest. So, you know, Ortiz said, you know, he wants to get back in right away. Like he knows that he knows, you know, he knew the opponent. Like, he wasn't happy with the opponent that he had, but he said that he's ready for Andy Ruiz. I'm ready for that fight. Here's the interview that we did with Luis Ortiz right after. All right, show of, I guess, emojis. No, just show comments. Who would you guys take in that fight, Ortiz or Andy Ruiz? Being that both guys coming at 100%, all right? Both guys at 100%. Who would you guys take, Andy Ruiz or Luis Ortiz? Let me know. We've seen some responses already. Early results are favoring Andy. Damn, by knockout, you think Andy knocks out Luis Ortiz? Chain. Ortiz is too old. Ortiz is easy work for Andy. Why do you guys think that? Why do you guys think he would Andy Ruiz would stop Luis Ortiz and that'd be an easy fight for him? Andy Ortiz, he's younger. Ruiz knockout inside 6 rounds. Upgraded Ruiz under Reynoso. King Kong by knockout. Andy Ruiz is young, and it depends on Ruiz's conditioning. Ortiz is a big puncher. It's 50-50. One guy is saying Ruiz is slow. Andy Ruiz versus Dillian White is the fight to see. I know it is. It's a good fight, but I would think against Luis Ortiz, I rate Luis Ortiz higher than Dillian White, to be honest. Even though Dillian White is good, I rate him higher. Ortiz is hype just because he gave Wilder a fight, who was another hype. Ooh, Chain with the ice. Doesn't like Deontay. Thinks he's hyped. Ruiz is too hurt. Let's see here. Ortiz counterpunching is on point. Toss-up, to be honest. Sorry, but if you're blind, if you think Ruiz is too slow. okay, that's a great fight. First off, that's a great fight. Really, really great fight. I think it naturally fits because I know there was talk of like matching Wilder with Andy Ruiz. Ruiz is supposed to fight Chris Arreola like the end of December, I think, but I don't know what happened to that. Like I've heard like no word of it, which is really weird. So I don't know what's going on. And I heard that he's not training right now with Reynoso. He's not at the gym because he says he doesn't have a fight coming up. So it's a weird thing. But I think the key there in that fight, what is the key there in that fight if Andy were to fight Luis Ortiz? I think, being able to touch Ortiz would be the thing for Andy, given, his height and Ortiz has reach, even though Ortiz isn't like a giant heavyweight compared to everybody else. That'd be a good ass fight. That'd be a good fight. Ruiz would Andy would want to like obviously go to him, use his hand speed, use his combinations to pile up points and damage Luis Ortiz. Ortiz would want to move around and box, and I don't think he's not going to deviate from style. He won't exchange in the pocket for very too long against an Andy Ruiz. It'd be really, I would like it. I think it's a dope fight. I think it's a really, really good fight, and I hope they go ahead and make it because I think it'd be a lot more competitive than what people think, and I think it could be something where like the fight is in the balance the last like 2 rounds, given the style of Luis Ortiz. It's a great fight. Let's get those likes up, guys. Come on, smash that like button if you are joining us. It's Fight Up TV live chat. Subscribe if this is your first time here as well. All right, Canelo versus Caleb Plant. So last week, no, actually, when I was in San Antonio, someone had told me like, yeah, Caleb Plant's next fight is going to be on pay-per-view. They're talking about it. And I was like, what? Caleb Plant on pay-per-view? And they're like, yeah, they're thinking about Chris Eubank Jr. And I was like, To me, that's a good fight because Chris Eubank Jr. has a really action-packed, fun style for TV. Like he gets a lot of crap because people say he's overrated. People say he's overhyped because, he's his father's son. He gets a lot more attention than he should. He's not as good as what he puts out there. But with all that criticism, there is one thing. Chris Eubank Jr., to me at least, is an exciting fighter. He's an exciting, TV-friendly fighter that brings it. He always comes and brings it. So I was thinking, okay, that's more of like it should be on Fox or like on Showtime, non pay-per-view. But if they want to start building Caleb into this attraction to build up into like a David Benavidez pay-per-view fight, then you got to start somewhere. And then I work this Fox show, and 2 days prior, the news breaks that Canelo's a free agent. I'm like, what the heck, And I had met with the guy that broke the story in San Antonio, and he had told me like, hey, there's some big news with Canelo coming. I can't tell you, but there's some big news, and he's going to fight in December 19th, and they're thinking about San Antonio. And I'm like, well, who? And he told me either Callum Smith or Caleb Plant. And I was like, nah, way, get the heck out of here. Caleb Plant, like, how's Canelo going to fight Caleb Plant? Caleb Plant's PBC. Canelo's his own. This was before the free agent stuff broke. I was like, no way. I'm like, they're not going to let Caleb Plant go. Caleb Plant's like one of PBC's like big stars. Like they got a lot of hopes for him, and that's going to ruin a Benavidez versus Caleb Plant fight if he goes there and he loses. So a few days pass, obviously, and then we find out that Canelo's a free agent. All right. He's no longer with Golden Boy and DAZN. He got out of his contract. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So on Fox, we thought that Eddie Reynoso was going to be in the corner of Frank Sanchez, who's a heavyweight, a Cuban heavyweight that's trained by Eddie Reynoso. And Eddie, of course, trains Canelo, trains Ryan Garcia, trains Frank, trains Oscar Valdez. So I told them, you guys need to interview Eddie and find out what the hell is going on, because we could end up breaking like more news about like what's happening. And there's this talk that Canelo and Caleb Plant, they might make a fight happen, or there's some talks there for a fight. And I already had heard from the ESPN people that Canelo, they said they were talking to Caleb's people and that they're looking to have that fight at the Alamo Dome. Like I said, this is all from what people have been saying. This is not confirmed or anything yet. If you guys were to ask me who's he going to fight, honestly, I have no freaking idea. No idea. But this is what Canelo's management told us during the Fox broadcast. Said that Canelo is going to announce his opponent, his next opponent, the date this week. They said this was Saturday. They said this week. So we'll see what happens if he who knows where Canelo like shows up. I think at this point he's a big enough name to do his own thing. He doesn't need to be tied with any promotional company. He doesn't need to be tied with anybody because he's a big name. We saw Floyd do it. We saw Oscar do it. He has his own company, so he could pretty much do whatever the heck he wants. In terms of ending up in a network, obviously there has to be some sort of compromise there on his salary. Canelo's going to be fighting back on pay-per-view. There's no way, no ifs and or buts about it. And that was the nice thing about him being on DAZN is that we didn't have to pay pay-per-view. He's back on pay-per-view, obviously. If he chooses Caleb Plant, obviously it's either going to show up on Showtime or on Fox. Showtime's already done 2 pay-per-views this year, so it doesn't make sense for them to have another pay-per-view when they've had 2 pay-per-views this year. Like I don't know. Like I think like they're allotted like how many pay-per-views. Like PBC, we're supposed to have 2 pay-per-views this year. Spence and Garcia, which is going to happen December 5th on Fox pay-per-view. And it's supposed to be the rematch, Wilder Fury 3. We had 2 slotted pay-per-views. That Wilder Fury 3 thing went away. We have Fox has a slot still open for a pay-per-view date in December. So you think like, well, if you're already planning 2 pay-per-views in the schedule, you think, okay, Caleb Plant, Canelo Alvarez on Fox pay-per-view coming up. But I this is just me thinking, like seeing, just throwing not hypotheticals, but just me, looking at what they had planned and be like, well, there's a fit there. Like I could see them going to that, but that's also a difficult thing, having a pay-per-view on December 5th and then going into a pay-per-view like 2 weeks later, another pay-per-view with Canelo and Caleb Plant. That's kind of like a hard buy for boxing fans. So, the one thing I would pay for a Canelo versus Caleb Plant fight is honestly, I think that's a highly competitive fight. Canelo's always had trouble with guys like Caleb Plant, very slick fighters that are mobile and stick that jab out. Canelo's always had a hard time with people with very good jabs. Gennady Golovkin, Irizlandi Lara, and many, many more. A lot of people think that Canelo's just going to wash Caleb Plant if the fight does get made ever, not now, but even if a little bit later, and that he'll just, I don't want to say walk through Caleb, but like he'll easily or handedly beat Caleb Plant. I don't think so. Caleb Plant, like I would not be surprised Caleb Plant wins that fight against Canelo Alvarez. Like honestly, and like the odds should be very close for that fight if it gets made. And if I see like good old odds on Caleb Plant, like plus 300, that's a smart bet because I'm telling you, man, this dude Caleb has a bad style for Canelo, like a really bad he's a hard fight for anybody, but that's a really hard fight for Canelo. Seeing he's fast on his feet, he's slick, he can move, he can box, and he can use his jab. Those are all things that have given Canelo a lot of trouble in his previous fights, all mixed into with a guy that's a lot bigger than him and probably one of the most athletic guys in general that he would be facing if this fight gets made. I'm not saying that Caleb Plant wins the fight because I see a very big vulnerability in Caleb Plant's game for Canelo. Plus 700 in the UK. Are you kidding me? That's the odds on, dude. If they're giving plus 700 odds for Caleb Plant, man, that's a steal of a bargain there for a bet because that fight should be a lot closer than that. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. Another crazy thing. Let's get some more likes on this thing. All right, press the like button, guys. Come on, let's get those likes up. Let's get it up. It's at this amount, this number right now. Let's get it up to like 100 likes or at least 80. Jeez, come on, more likes, more likes. Let's go. Okay. The one vulnerability I see in this fight for Caleb, and I've noticed like when I've seen him training in person and hitting the heavy bag, is when he's, and even in like in fights too, though he never really puts himself in a position because he's always moving or staying back, and really he's just always moving, to be honest. But just from seeing him training in the other fights, I think he excels at like moving and sticking and moving and boxing and defense. But I think when it comes to, if someone wanted to pressure him and keep him, like be on him, pressure him and be on him and fight him really on the close range and fight him really on the inside, fighting him like to the body and everything like that, I think Caleb would have a really hard time just because what I've seen so far in the other fights, and him training on the heavy bag. So, man, it's a freak. It's a tough fight. It's a tough fight. What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think? Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Charlo versus Plant. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. But I'd rather see Canelo versus Charlo or Canelo versus Caleb Plant. BJ Saunders more touch dude. What do you mean more touch dude? Oh wait a second. I read that wrong. BJ Saunders more tougher. Is BJ Saunders more tougher? Here's the thing. Saunders might be a little bit more slicker than Caleb, but I think Caleb's more athletic and he's bigger. And he punches. He has a bigger punch than BJ Saunders. We've seen Caleb knock people out. BJ Saunders, when's the last time he knocked somebody out? He knocked that guy out in the KSI fight with an uppercut. You guys would probably know more than me. I'm drawing a blank, but I'm not sure. Plant doesn't have the power to hurt Canelo. I don't know about that. I disagree. Caleb's a big guy, man. He's a big guy and he's fast. Like if you see Caleb in person, you're like, dude, he looks pretty solid, man. And he's gotten some good knockouts. Yes, I know like the opponents, Mike League and Feigen Boots were like nowhere near Caleb's level, and they weren't elite opponents, but dude, Caleb's a solid super middleweight, man. Like he has, I think, respectable power in there. So I don't think, I think he does have the power to at least get a lot of respect from Canelo, to be honest. Canelo walks him down, hits to the body, slows Caleb down. Canelo finishes him with body shots. See, Juan, that's what I'm talking about. I see a way there for Canelo to win, and that's that way just because from what I've seen from other fights and then him training on the heavy bag, how he's hitting the heavy bag and he'll hit like a combo and he'll kind of just stay there, and I'm like, dude, like you have someone that's really proficient at going to the close distance. The Caleb will throw one and Canelo will like return four. So I really think that's a good way to be about it too, with that fight. Jacobs is bigger, has all the athleticism, didn't give Canelo all that trouble. Here's the thing, though, Chain. Jacobs is not a slick boxer like Caleb Plant. Honestly, Caleb Plant is a lot better boxer than Daniel Jacobs, in my opinion. And I think in your guys' opinion as well. And also, Daniel Jacobs is not a very technical guy either. He's kind of like a pressure guy too, like a power pressure type boxer puncher. Though I don't want to say brawl, but he's looking to be aggressive more than like a Caleb Plant. All right, we got our first super chat here. What's up, man? RG apostrophe J3 Boxing. What's up, man? I really appreciate that. If you guys have a question, have a comment that wants to get answered right away, go ahead and use the super chat. I agree with you. Canelo has been fighting old guys. This is a great fight. This is a step up for Canelo. I believe Plant is going to beat Canelo. I'm telling you guys, this is a very, very close fight, regardless of the competition that Caleb Plant has had up to this point in his career. That style is a really difficult style for any fighter, and it's always giving Canelo problems throughout his whole entire career. Like I'm telling you guys, like to me, this is an extremely competitive fight, and I'd pay for it like bar none on pay per view, even though it sucks to be paying $75 again for Canelo fights. LOL. Oh man, Plant's best win is Uzcategui, and he was an underdog. Hey man, at that time, Uzcategui was like the de facto boogeyman in that division. You know, Uzcategui was the man back then. So, you know, he wasn't the same after that Caleb fight. You know, do you think Triple G will move up to 168 to fight Saunders and Smith? I would imagine so. Now that the Canelo fight can happen for him. And I always wondered like why Gennady like hasn't moved up to 168 pounds. I think he should, but you know, I guess he's really comfortable at 160 pounds. All right, 8 more likes, guys. 8 more likes. Come on, to get 100 likes. Fight Up TV live chat right here. If you're tuning in for the first time, hello. Hi, what's up? Subscribe to the channel, please, right now if you're not subscribed, and smash that like button as we're talking Canelo versus Caleb Plant. Well, the other option I think for Canelo is Callum Smith, though. You know what? I think that's a little bit, I don't want to say easier of a fight for Canelo because Callum's a big dude also, but I don't think he's as technical or proficient skill-wise like a Caleb Plant. So I think out of the two, I think that Caleb Plant fight, at least for me, is a little bit more difficult than a Callum Smith fight for Canelo. All right, what do you guys think? Do you think Callum Smith is a harder fight for Canelo or Caleb Plant's a harder fight for Canelo? Let's see here. Waiting for you guys' responses. Ryder beat Callum and they robbed him. Yeah, I thought Ryder won that fight, but it could have been an off night for Callum Smith, says NJAMP. Dmitry Priog, harder fight for Canelo. That dude hasn't fought in forever. What are you talking about, Dmitry Priog? I think he retired. Caleb is a sharpshooter. That is very true. What the hell? We want to see Plant versus Benavidez, not Canelo beat up someone who ain't on his level. Okay. I think it's a great fight, bro. It's a good fight. Plant. So 3 Plant. Okay, so come on, man. Check the competition. Canelo will beta Plant. Not easy, but Canelo will win. Uzcategui is an ordinary fighter. Marcos, what will happen to the vacant 168 belt? Someone will fight for it, probably. Caleb, he is flat-foot. Bro is not bro. What does that mean? Bro is not bro. What does that mean, bro? Bro is not bro? What is that, bro? Plant. So you guys, it's like a consensus here that Plant's the harder fight than Callum Smith. So you guys, some of these comments you guys write is hilarious. What's up, Adon? Plant, no elite wins. Best win, Uzcategui didn't show up to the title fight. Canelo will KO Plant. Charlo disfigures Canelo. Well, it's looking like Caleb Plant is the tougher fight than Callum Smith compared to the two guys. So, you know, let's see what Canelo does. Let's see what who he chooses and what he chooses to do. I could, even though, you know, Callum's with Matchroom, I don't think he's the zone exclusive, so I don't think that would be a problem either for Canelo to end up fighting him. And he's a real legit 168-pounder. Canelo fought Rocky Fielding to get whatever belt at 168, even though Callum had the real belt at 168. So I think this would legitimize him at 168 pounds, seeing by consensus standards, because Callum won the tournament and he has the ring belt and the WBA belt that he's seen as number one at 168 pounds. So, you know, either way, Canelo fighting either Callum Smith or Caleb Plant says a lot about him as a fighter, but it also says, you know, I think it shows his arrival to 168 pounds officially, because, you know, we've seen Canelo kind of move up and down the weights, but I think if he gets this fight, I don't think he'll be at 160 pounds anymore. I think that it'll be a permanent move to 168, and I think he kind of maxes out at 168 against All those guys. And man, there's a lot of guys for Canelo to fight too. At 168 pounds, you got Kell Plant, David Benavidez, Chris Eubank Jr., Charlo, if he goes ahead and moves up, Callum Smith, BJ Saunders, Golovkin, but that seems very unlikely, which sucks, which is sad because I actually wanted to see a third Golovkin fight with Canelo. I thought they had a lot of unfinished business there between the two. So, we'll see. Canelo lost to Trout, Laura Mayweather, Triple G, Canelo overrated. Canelo didn't lose to Trout. He knocked him down and beat him very handedly. Laura, I was there live for that fight. It could have gone either way. I gave it to Canelo because I felt that Erislandy Laura gave away the fight by not doing enough. All that dude had to do was throw a few more punches. He would have won the fights. He would have no doubt, but he didn't. He wanted to get cute in there. That was his fight to win, and I felt he gave it away to Canelo. Let's see. Mayweather, of course, he lost. Triple G, I felt that the first fight he definitely lost. Second fight was a draw. Should have been a draw against Triple G. Oh, man. YSLJ does not like Canelo. Calls him a bad. Yeah. Bad. Canelo's a badass, dude. What are you talking about? Canelo is boxing, dude. This guy, one of the pound for pound best right now in the game, dude. Canelo. Damn, I hate this new camera. Sometimes it'll overexpose, guys. It's super annoying. Yeah, the second fight was a draw. I was there live. I saw it. It was a draw. To me, it was a draw. 6-6. To a lot of people, it was a draw. 6-6. Come on, bro. Where'd you have it? Let's go. What's it? Through Cho. Is that Through Cho or True Chu? Whatever your name is. What's up, man? Let's get some more likes, guys. Marvelous. 6-6. Exactly. That's how I had it. 6-6. Berlanga versus Ismi. Let me turn this phone. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Silver, what's up, man? How did you score? Ooh, a lot of comments coming here. Let me get to your comment right here. How did you score the second? How did you score the second draw? GG didn't win any of those first 7 rounds. Watch it again with no audio. They would bias. Nah, dog. I watch fights for a living. That fight was a draw, bro. Come on. That fight was a draw. The fight was a draw, or it could be 1 round Canelo. But Canelo didn't outright win that fight. There was still a lot of doubt there. Just because you walk someone down doesn't mean you're being effective or you're winning rounds. Just because you've walked down somebody doesn't mean you're winning the rounds. That doesn't mean anything. You have to be effective with your pressure. That's one of the main judging criteria is to employ effective pressure. What does effective pressure mean? That means you, as the fighter, are dictating where the fight takes place. You're putting a fighter in the position you want them to fight the fight. That's you being the general. That's where the term ring generalship comes from. So just because you move forward and you're chasing a guy around the ring doesn't mean you're winning the fight or you're being effective with your pressure. Virgil Ortiz is going to dominate everyone at 168 one day. I don't know if he'll get up to that weight. Maybe 154, but possibly 160. But I don't know about 168. 300 IQ. What up? Plant better train his butt off. Yes, I agree. Demetrius Andrade, entire career has been a waste, and it's sad. You know what? In terms of Demetrius Andrade, it's really unfortunate because dude's uber talented, man. Uber talented. And he could win a lot of these fights with the top guys at 160 or 168 pounds. And one of the reasons why you sign with the promoter is that they're able to get you fights that you want against the type of competition that you want. And the competition that has been placed against Andrade hasn't been the best, obviously. And, no fault of his own, a lot of people haven't been wanting to fight him, which is the truth. Because he's not a big name, and it's a very risky fight. And it can end up being a very slow fight because Andrade can just lull you to sleep with his style. But it comes to a point, too, where, come on, man. If, you can't get these fights and it's because your promoter can't get them to you, it's time to go to another promoter. so you can get these fights. Like honestly, like Eddie's done a tremendous job. He's a great promoter. That's not a slight to him at all. But if I was in that position, I'd be like, yo, Eddie, I signed with Matchroom DAZN to make money and to get a Canelo fight. Canelo's gone. I can't get that fight anymore, bro. I can't. Charlo, I can't get that fight. I can't get any of these fights. What's up? What's going on? Why can't I get these fights? And I'd come to the conclusion like, you know what, man, I'm gonna go sign with PBC or I'm gonna go sign with Top Rank. They have a better way of me being able to get these fights. So I think at this point it has a lot to do with his promoter, to be honest. At this point. Let's see. Yo, Marcos, ask Angel Garcia about Matisse again, please. That ish was too funny, man. Oh yeah, hey, tomorrow, guys, Spence versus Garcia. Errol Spence and Danny Garcia are going to have a press conference for us media people via Zoom. We're going to go ahead and live stream it tomorrow for you guys to watch. I'll tell you the time right now. Let me see here. I'm going to look up the time. My emails. If I sound a little tired, guys, I kind of am. I don't know why. Just like I said, freaking drinking Red Bulls makes you tired, at least me. All right, so we're going to stream this live here at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Errol Spence and Danny Garcia. So Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Derek James, and Angel Garcia, my man, Angel. Tomorrow here on Fight Hub at 11 o'clock, all right? So make sure to put it in your reminders. Put it on your phones, text yourself. Already remember, 11 o'clock here on Fight Hub, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, live press conference. All right? Boom. And someone's talking about fucking burritos? Oh, dude, I cussed. Sorry. Dang it. Shouldn't have cussed. All right, yeah, you're right, bro. Coffee messes me up too, man. Coffee makes me feel like I'm overstimulated. Let's go here. Marcos probably had the Teofimo versus Loma fight a draw. I did. It was a close fight to me. Out of 6 rounds, I gave Lomachenko 1, and then I had him winning all the other rounds after, except the last round. Andre Ward had it a draw as well, man. A lot of other people had it as a draw, but obviously overall, Teo won the fight. He brought the fight. Los Amigos Taqueria. Los Amigos Taqueria, where's that at? I'm gonna go ahead and check it out. No, I'm saying he did win. He won the fight. He won the fight. But if you're judging it round by round by round, I came to a draw. But after that, I was like, no. Like I looked at it as the fight overall. The fight overall, I was like, nah, Teo definitely won. But on a round by round by round, there's a lot of people that have said that fight could have been a draw, man. To be honest, and I could see it. Fort Worth, Texas, man. I'm in LA, bro. I ain't taking any trips to Fort Worth in a while, dog. Can't be going out over there. Big Lou, what's up, man? Good question. Big Lou, ask. Is DAZN a sinking ship now that Canelo left? Well, let's see. We got to see what are the names that DAZN has now. The names that DAZN has at this point is Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Anthony Joshua, but he's on a fight-by-fight basis with DAZN, to be honest. So at any point, Joshua could end up bouncing. He doesn't have a exclusive deal with DAZN. It's on a fight-by-fight basis. And that's it. Those 3 names, man. So it's going to be difficult, though. I do have a hunch that DAZN's going to start focusing more on the international fights and the international fighters, because DAZN is huge outside of the U.S. Compared to here. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if they start highlighting these guys, the international guys from Ukraine and Italy and all these other places where they've opened Matchroom offices and DAZN offices to feature them on DAZN. AT&T Stadium, Spence and Virgil Ortiz house, Texas, brother. DAZN may focus on mainstream sports, which, yeah, no, obviously, though, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that here in the U.S. because of all the licensing rights are already taken up by networks, so it's going to be really hard. But I know internationally they have the licensing rights to a lot of major league sports. which is, DAZN is not going to go away because they're successful. DAZN is a successful company outside of the U.S. Just here, it's a little bit harder because all the sports franchises, all the sports leagues are tied into like the networks already over here, and they have, I think, a lot more money than what DAZN has at this point. Tank versus Rayan. You spelled Ryan with an Rayan. Rayan. Should not happen. Ryan might die in the ring. I don't know about that. I don't know. Virgil Ortiz, I think, is gonna have a fight coming up. There's gonna be like a Golden Boy fight in December after the Ryan Garcia fight as well. I don't know what day it's scheduled for, but I think it's gonna be like the second or third week of December that they're going to have a Golden Boy fight. And then there's a scheduled Fox fight December 26th, the day after Christmas as well. So got a few fights for December. And then, next year, like I know I can, well, no, this is out here. This has already been out there. I could tell you a few fights that I think have a high likelihood of being made from what I've heard and what I've investigated. Adam Konaski against Robert Helenius too. The Techno Viking. I call him the Techno Viking because Helenius looks like the Techno Viking, man. He totally looks like the Techno Viking. The Techno Viking, I'm gonna move my camera. Techno Viking was like one of the first like internet memes. That dude, it's funny. Techno Viking has like the weirdest story. So I don't know if you guys even know what I'm talking about because I'm a lot older than some of you guys. Techno Viking is something that I saw when I was in college. It's like one of the first like viral internet clips, and it's this freaking dude from Norway or something like that. What is Techno Viking? See, look it up. Look up Techno Viking. It's this guy from Norway that's at a protest, okay, and some guy is yelling at a girl. And Techno Viking, because the dude looks like a freaking Viking, stops the dude from yelling at the girl, pushes him, and then he starts like doing like this little like techno dance at this march. And then like some guy like comes up to him, offers him a bottle of water, and then he starts going and doing his little techno dance. That dude looks like Robert Helenius. So that's why I call him Techno Viking. But Techno Viking has a hilarious story because Vice did a report on him, like, where is Techno Viking? And they found him. And I guess Techno Viking's gay. And that guy that was yelling at the chick in the video, Techno Viking ended up getting super hammered that night, ran into the guy again. And I guess like they bing, bang, boom. And I guess Techno Viking is with that dude now. And Techno Viking is not all ripped up like he used to be, and he has like this normal job, and they found him. So, yeah, Techno Viking. So yeah, Robert Helenius versus Techno Viking. I mean, excuse me, Adam Konaski versus Techno Viking. Robert Helenius. That rematch is going to happen. Supposed to be Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola. That fight's supposed to happen, and I think that fight might be the fight that happens at the end of the year, the December 26th show. Like I said, I was told that Caleb Plant was going to fight on a pay-per-view against Chris Eubank Jr., but with the Canelo stuff, who knows? What other fights? What are you talking about? That's all I know of for the end of the year, to be honest. Golden Boy, I think Virgil might end up having a fight in December, January as well. So, who knows? Let's get some more likes, guys. We got a good amount of people in here. Let's get those likes up. We're at 127. Let's get them up to 150. Come on, bros. I heard Viking Bloodline was also in France. It could be, man. Those Vikings were everywhere. Could be. No, Chris Arreola needs to retire. Andy Ruiz should fight Luis Ortiz. I agree. I don't like that fight for Chris Arreola. That's a really bad fight for him. I think not conducive to his brain health, to be honest. Let's see here. Oh, come on, bro. Don't thumb down. That's bad of you. Who do you think will win between Ortiz and Ruiz? I'm not sure, man. That's a really tough fight, to be honest. We talked about it a little bit. Um, if you go rewind back, we kind of like broke it down and stuff like that. I think it's a fight that it's really close and competitive in the last two rounds, rounds 11 and 12. Really, the winner needs to do. Well, the guy who's going to win needs to really do something big because um, Luis Ortiz is going to box and move in that fight, and then he's going to come forward. He's going to try to swing, and he'll land some punches, he'll miss some punches. It's that fight is going to be legit, like an exciting fight, man. Legit exciting fight. Thank you for the snack discounts. No worries, guys. We have a snack discount. You want supplements? We give you 25% discount. Use the discount code FightUpTV1 for that discount. And I wouldn't have put or even gone into a thing with snack if I didn't think their products worked. They work. I've tried them out myself. They work. It's not a lie. I'm just not doing it to peddle it or put it out there. Like the ZMA really freaking works. Like I get so much better sleep taking it and feel much better in a mood taking it. The Fighter Stack works, like their protein powder and their Expedite. The Expedite works really well too as a pre-workout as well. Man, Israel and Sally keep going back and forth. Man, you guys need to relax a little bit. Ryan, yeah, totally, bro. I mixed that in with a couple Cialis pills, dude. I'm strong like bull for like 3 days, dog. So there you go, man. I recommended it for you, Ryan. Ryan Hung for your dong. Yeah. Got that, huh? Toodaloo. All right, guys, get 6 more likes. Let's get this to 150. Come on, bros. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, please. We do this every Monday at 5:30, 5:35, somewhere around there. Probably lock in a freaking time, but yeah. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on social media at FightUpTV. Appreciate the guys that have stayed with us throughout the whole time. Really appreciate that. I want that snack babe as a snack. Brina Martinez, yes, she's a hottie. She is a hottie. Okay, I got an interesting question here. Okay, let's see here. Who do you think is the wild card at 135 pounds? Let's look at the 135-pound rankings. Let me see here. I'll pull up the rankings and I'll tell you who I think is the wild card. You guys let me know who you guys think the wild card is at 135 pounds. I like that question. It's a good question. Let's see, 135-pound rankings. Let's see here. Rankings, boxing. Let me know what you guys think. Who is the wild card at 135 pounds? I'll go on. ESPN doesn't really update their stuff anymore, huh? Let's see here. The Ring. Let's go by the Ring ratings. Ring magazine ratings 135 pounds. Let's see here. Teofimo number 1, Lomachenko Teofimo the champion, Lomachenko number 1, Heaney number 2, Richard Comey number 3. I'm surprised by that. Luke Campbell number 4, Ryan Garcia number 5, Robert Easter the Bunny number 6, Javier Fortuna number 7, Jorge Linares number 8, George Kambosos Jr. number 9, and Emmanuel Tago number 10. So out of those 10, who's the wild card on that list? Could be a few people. Could be Jorge Linares if he's still good. A lot of people will say that Jorge is like washed at this point, that he's old, that there's not much left of him. I completely disagree. I think there's still a lot left of Jorge. He's just gotten a few bad breaks there with the fights that he's lost, to be honest. Fortuna, I think he's just – Fortuna's a featherweight. He blown up lightweight. I don't know. I don't think she – I love the big Chi-Chi's reporter. What's her name, Marcos? You know her. Oh, that's hilarious, bro. You're funny, Jesus. The big Chi-Chi's reporter. Luke Campbell, I think, maybe could be another wild card in that division because, he has a really good shot I feel, at beating Ryan Garcia. Thumbs up for Chi-Chis. Let's get that. Let me see all these thumbs up. Let's get these likes. Likes for Chi-Chis. We all like Chi-Chis, right? Tetas. Me gustan las tetas. Déjame ver las tetas. As Ali G would say, Babalons. The Babalons. Hey, saludos from Wisconsin. What's up, man? What up, Wisconsin? Oh, hold on. I think the wild card, honestly, to me, is Lomachenko at 135 pounds because people are saying he's done, he's washed, he's finished, but just one loss. Still a lot left of Lomachenko. I still think Lomachenko beats almost everybody in the division. If he rematches Teofimo Lopez, let's see what happens. I still want to see a rematch with him and Teo, just to see if the stuff that he said about his shoulder is true, or to confirm to us that Teofimo is that damn good. Si chotas. Oh man, we're terrible, right? We're terrible. What's up, Bruce? What's going on? Last name Wayne. Okay. I saw a good question that the puppies. Yes, we love the puppies. Okay, there we go. From Wisconsin. What's up, Wisconsin? Wisconsin. Ay, saludos from Wisconsin. What are your thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's next fight if he were to have one? Who do you think he should fight next? Good question. Manny's next fight. Who do you guys want to see Manny fight next? Let's see here. Manny Pacquiao. What would be? Obviously, the obvious choice is, of course, Mikey. I like Mikey more than all the other fights. Like, I like Mikey more than Terence. I like Mikey more than Errol Spence because Mikey is closer to Pacquiao's size naturally. So he wouldn't be giving up too much of a size advantage there against Manny Pacquiao or vice versa. I think against Errol Spence, I think against Terence Crawford, maybe a little bit more closer to size, but Spence definitely not, man. Spence is a freaking giant. That's for sure. Mikey's a good counter puncher. Doesn't throw a lot of punches, but the punches that he does throw count. They're effective. They land. He's really accurate. Man is just a tornado, but with this layoff, maybe this layoff is might be bad for him because when you get that age, you got to when you get to that age, you got to be active. Art Alexander, what's up, bro? Shout out to all the chichonetas. I like very much the chichonetas. Very, very good. You make a bing, bang, boom right there with the chichonetas. Thank you for that, Art. YZZ, oh, yo, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat. Usyk versus Fury. I think Fury dominates him easily. Okay, let me get some water here. Okay, and then I'll answer that. Okay. Usyk versus Tyson Fury. So I'm going to give Usyk the benefit of the doubt, okay? And like to think that the same way as Evander Holyfield grew into a heavyweight from cruiserweight, that Usyk is going to go ahead and do the same thing, that he's going to grow into the heavyweight division and get a little bit bigger and be able to handle the heavyweights a lot more. The one thing that I kept wondering about when Usyk fought Dillian White was Dillian White came in shape because he had a good gas tank in that fight. He kept coming. The other thing, though, is imagine if like a Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua did that to Usyk where it was like nonstop pressure like on them. Like imagine like if a bigger physical guy went ahead and did that and put it on them, put it on Usyk. And Usyk got hit quite a bit in that fight against Dillian White. Dillian White. What am I talking about? Chisora. Jesus. Against Chisora. And if he's getting hit like that against like Tyson Fury or like Anthony Joshua, like, I don't know. He's a small heavyweight. He still hasn't grown in the heavyweight division. So at this point, if they were to fight, obviously I would favor Tyson Fury. I think they'd just be too big for Usyk. The reach too, man. That'd be so hard for Usyk to overcome that reach. Also, and a lot of Usyk's punches aren't like big punches. They're like pitter-pat punches. that are scoring. But yeah, at this point, I don't think he's ready at this point. Not that he's ready. Okay, let me reinsert. Of course, he's ready. He's the elite level. He's an elite level fighter. He was undisputed at his prior division at cruiserweight. I think he's undersized, and because he's undersized, I don't think he'll be able to get enough respect from someone like a Tyson Fury to keep him off of him. And I think Fury is going to notice, like, hey, Chisora put the pressure on this guy, and it seemed to bother him. He got a good amount of licks in him in that fight. Now imagine a guy who's even bigger than a Chisora, that's more athletic than a Chisora, putting that type of pressure as well on him. So at this point, I wouldn't favor Usyk in there against Tyson Fury. But I've done interviews on this. Give Usyk, give him a year. Give him a year at heavyweight. Let's see if he feels more into the heavyweight division and gets a little bit more solid. And let's go from there. Even though he's the mandatory, I think, for the WBO for Joshua's title that he holds. So let's see how it goes. But I think at this point, he definitely is undersized heavyweight. That's for sure. Booyaka, 619. Big Rey Mysterio fan growing up as a kid. Usyk barely won the last fight. I don't know about that. I don't know if he barely won. He won for sure, but Chisora did give him problems in that fight. That's for sure. Chisora did give him problems. Sean Porter beat Usyk. Yeah, that is very true. In the amateurs, though, when they were like a lot younger. So not anything recently. That is for sure. Package Fadero Spence or stop boxing. Like I said, I like the Mikey fight. Man. I think the Mikey fight's a good fight for him, but I think overall, I would prefer if Manny did retire, because last thing I'd want to see is Manny get hurt. And when I mean hurt, obviously I don't want to see him get knocked out again, because I was there when he got knocked out against Juan Manuel Marquez in Las Vegas, and that was freaking something that I'm never, ever going to forget in my entire life, man. That's like imprinted in me, because you knew something crazy was going to happen just by the atmosphere that night in Las Vegas. Like it just had a crazy electricity, crazy atmosphere. And I remember it was right before that Marquez was going to come out. And I remember I always do this when I'm at these big fights. I always just stand there and kind of like soak it all in. So like I could imprint it in my mind so I could remember like how that I'm in the moment, that I'm at this place, and I just want to soak it all in. So I remember I did that at that fight. People were chanting, Marquez, Marquez, Marquez. I'm standing there and I'm looking at the arena. I was like, damn, because I was there for the third fight. I'm like, this is a lot louder than the third fight. And I'm like, dude, there's a lot of freaking people here. And the majority of them were for Juan Manuel Marquez. And I don't know, like the energy there, you could just freaking feel it. And I felt like, dude, something crazy is going to happen in this fight. Like, this is going to be a good-ass fight. And it was. Then, Manny knocked down Marquez, and Marquez Marquez knocked down Manny, then Manny knocked down Marquez, and then, Marquez put out Manny. But I think at this point, I would really like, just for caution, for Manny to stop fighting. He's accomplished everything that you can as a fighter. There's nothing left for him to prove as a fighter. He's already a Hall of Famer, and I don't want to see him get hurt or end up like one of those fighters that has trouble speaking or with like slurred speech or ends up getting dementia or something like that. So I'd prefer for him. He's the only person I think that does have I don't say valid excuse, but he does have like a mandate to where he could pick and choose whoever the heck he wants. And dude, if it's Manny Pacquiao against like a tree, like I wouldn't care. Like honestly, because I think at this point, boxing for freaking close, 30 years, if not more? Yeah, 30 years, right? Because he started fighting when he was like a little kid, like at 14. Or at least close to 30 years. At this point, he doesn't owe anybody anything at this point. So he's probably the only person that I wouldn't care if he went ahead and fought freaking Rod Salka. And I'd be like, you know what, it's Manny. He could choose whatever the heck he wants. Charlo will disfigure Canelo. Yeesh, dang. All right, DJ. All right, bro. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's a good fight. Competitive. Competitive for sure. Manny's top 5 of all time. Lightning Rod Salka. That is LMAO. Dude, don't freaking disrespect Rod the God Salka, bro. Rod the God Salka. He's on Derg. I think he means drugs. Derg. Only credit I give Marcus is that he took the time to learn English when a lot of Mexican fighters don't. Yeah, man. Marcus is great to interview now because he understands English, obviously, and he speaks English. Even though his English is a little limited, like how my Spanish is kind of limited to a point where you start getting into like words I never learned as a kid that I got to go and use Google Translate and all that. So Marcus is a good guy. I've been trying. No, that's not true. I have the contact info. I want to get him for an interview, but I need to figure out how to do live interviews because I would love to do live interviews with these guys to have you guys in on the chat so you guys can be answering or asking questions while I'm doing an interview live on YouTube. So that's really like what I'm looking to do now with these interviews. So, hey, don't forget, man, tomorrow at 11 o'clock Pacific time, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia live press conference here on Fight Hub. Don't miss it. Put a reminder on your guys' phones or on your computers, all right? So you guys don't miss it tomorrow. Also, let's get a little bit more likes. Let's end the stream at like 175 likes or shit. Let's get it to 200 actually. Some more likes up in here. Also, follow us on social media at Fight Up TV, on Twitter and on Instagram, and of course at Hey It's Marcos V for myself as well. Kell Brook and Terence Crawford. Dang, barely getting into this because we've been talking about all your the comments that you guys have had. Crawford versus Kell Brook. What's up? What's up going on, bro? Dang, we got one that thinks that Kell Brook's gonna win. You guys think Kell Brook's gonna win? I think it's a good fight. I think it'll be an entertaining fight. But who knows what condition Kell is at this point because of the eye sockets. He has 2 broken eye sockets. One from the Golovkin fight and one from the Spence fight. So, you know, who knows how that's going to play. Like whenever there's an eye socket injury with a fighter, I've noticed that they're not the same as they were before, to be honest. So, you know, they'll get rebroken, says Cody. I don't know. You think Crawford is an accurate puncher, and obviously it's not about how hard you punch. It's about how accurate of a puncher you are, and how fast the punch comes. I think this would have been a lot bigger fight if it wasn't for COVID. You know, I think this fight's gotten very under the radar, and to me, I think it's going to be a competitive fight. I think it's a good fight. It's 2 good names there. You know, obviously it's Terence Crawford, #1 pound for pound by many people's accounts. It's either him or Canelo that are #1 pound for pound going against, you know, Kell Brook's a good name. He gave Sean Porter a hell of a fight. He beat Sean Porter. His fight with Golovkin was entertaining. His fight with Errol Spence was pretty dang competitive until, you know, the eye socket, and then he got the knockdown and then eventually the stoppage over him. So, you know, I'm not sure. That's a good question, bro. That's a good question. Run PMC. Marcos, is this Crawford's last fight with Top Rank? I'm not sure. I'll check on that actually, because that would be really interesting if that was his last fight with Top Rank, because you could see him then wanting to go with PBC in order to get that Spence fight. Even though I think that I think at this point, because they made Wilder Fury, and we're in an age where these networks are really hurting for money. They're hurting for revenue. So I think there'll be more pressure there to make a Spence versus Crawford fight, and for Top Rank, ESPN, and Fox to be willing, or Showtime, to be willing to work everything out in order to make that fight, because ESPN just laid off a bunch of people. Fox just laid off a bunch of people because of revenue. Not a lot of revenue is coming in. So I think there's going to be more of a catalyst there to make these big fights, because they know these big fights are going to bring in revenue, and that's what they're looking as a network, is to bring in revenue. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. He's a lot smaller. Who is it? Who's a lot smaller? Who are you talking about on that comment, bro? Who's showing the fight? ESPN, Kell Brook, and I had to clean that real quick for you guys. Oh, we're moving in. That is Kell Brook, Terence Crawford is going to be on ESPN. ESPN. Let's get a few more likes, guys. If you haven't liked already, like the stream. Go ahead and press the like button, please. Por favor, ayúdenme un poco con eso. Okay. Do you guys want to watch a watch party? I can do a watch party this weekend for that fight. We can do round by round scoring if you guys want. I know we did that for the Lomachenko fight. We had a lot of people. We had like close to 5,000 people live when we did that. So let me know if you guys want to do the watch party for Crawford and Kell Brook. And shoot, I'll set it up, man. I'll set it up. We'll score it together and just kind of chat the ish. I'm already seeing a few guys saying yeah for that. So yeah, maybe I'll go ahead and do that. Then we'll do a watch party. Best time to grow a channel is on Fight Night, man. Okay, I agree with you, Abe. I agree with you. Yes, scoring and a breakdown of why you scored each round. Okay, all right, I can do that. With T-shirt. You know, it's funny. We used to have. You guys may not believe me. I was in a fraternity in college, and our parties, our fraternity house is like a really well-known landmark in Orange County. And we would have our Mardi Gras parties where we were like the best freaking parties. And we had like this little stage in the backyard, okay? And I issue not, man. I'm not joking. We would have a T-shirt contest because that was the time when freaking Girls Gone Wild just came out, and we were seeing that like on the TV all the time. So like we would have these like Mardi Gras parties that we would all have beads, and we'd have people go up on stage, and yeah, you know, freaking crazy college kids getting lit, you know, and those parties were freaking awesome. Those were great parties, great times in college, man. We had a lot of freaking crazy parties. We had like this big old beer bong, okay, and we called it the Octobong because we had like a one of those water gallon things, and we cut the top so we could put like jungle juice in it, and then we connected like a thing that the little tubes for the bong. But at first it was 2, and then it was 4, and then it was 6, and then it was 8. Like we kept adding things to grow it. Yeah, with the funnel. Yeah. So what we would do is we would get the Octobong, and we would fill it with jungle juice. We'd go up to the roof, and then you'd see all these freaking hoses go out everywhere, and people would just, you know, be taking the alcohol to the dome, man. The thing was hilarious. It was hilarious. Those were some great times. We did a lot of crazy freaking stuff in college. What's up, bro? Who do you have winning against Garcia and Campbell? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because I can honestly see Luke Campbell winning that fight. It's a tough fight. I guess Ryan, and I do that with some hesitation because I know how solid of an opponent Luke Campbell is, and he's really good. And there's a few things like Ryan at this point has been untested so far through his no fault of his own. You know, he's fought the guys that they've been put in front of him, and he's beaten them. You know, we thought Duño was going to be the guy that was going to challenge Ryan, and he freaking chin checked that fool in 1 round. You know, I guess we'll see. This is definitely the hardest, most important test of Ryan's career, and if he beats Luke in a manner more dominant than what Jorge Linares showed or of what Lomachenko showed, then I think that says a lot about Ryan in this fight. So yeah, no, it's going to be a great fight, Jay. It's going to be a heck of a fight. I can't wait. The only bummer that I have is I might be in Dallas for the Spence Garcia fight. It's on the same night, even though Ryan and Luke Campbell are going to fight earlier in the day, so there's no conflicts between Spence and Garcia, but it just sucks because I'm going to be, I think, in Dallas for the Spence versus Garcia fight. Let's get a few more likes, guys. Let's get this like count up a little bit more. So if you haven't liked it already, go ahead and put some more likes. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. We got a ton of stuff, and tomorrow at 11 o'clock, make sure to tune back here to the channel. I'm going to put a reminder up in a little bit. We're going to have a live stream for Errol Spence Danny Garcia virtual press conference coming to you over here live tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So tune into the channel here at 11 o'clock tomorrow for that. Reynoso is making a man of Ryan. Yeah, he's improving him, man. He's improving him, that's for sure. Ryan is too quick, but if he gets caught, it'll be great to see how he reacts. Yes. Because Ryan is a little vertical when he fights at this point. So I guess Luke is really going to be Ryan's first real test up to this point, man. So I can't wait. Make sure to sub to the channel. Follow us on social media at FightUpTV on Twitter and on Instagram. At FightUpTV on Twitter and on Instagram. And I think I'm going to go hit the gym now, because I'm tired and I got to get this workout in and I got a ton of work for this press conference tomorrow. So we're going to end the live chat, man. So do you know who fights Valdez? It's supposed to be Miguel Burchelt, but Burchelt got the Rona. So that fight is being postponed. All right. Appreciate it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end live chat. See you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Spence versus Garcia, only here on Fight Hub. Make sure to sub to the channel. Give us a few more likes if you haven't already. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. At Fight Up TV on Instagram and on Twitter. If you want to follow my personal at Hey, it's Marcos V. Go ahead and follow my personal as well. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Make it productive. Make it good. And we'll be here next Monday at 5:35. And oh wait, Saturday, bros. Saturday. We're gonna do the watch party for Terence Crawford and Kell Brook. All right. So yeah, time to hit the iron. Let's go. Come on. Time to go to the gym. Put that cookie down. No. You'll bring the viejas? Promise me that you'll bring the viejas. We all need a little bit more viejas in our life, bro. For reals, dude. This Rona has kind of been of a dry spell for a lot. Like, I was talking, okay, I was going to log off, but I'm going to bring up something that I brought up with my cousin, okay? So my cousin is hilarious. My cousin cracks me up. And he's like, yo, primo, man. And he's like, how is like, I don't understand how people are single right now, because my cousin's married. It's like, I don't understand how people are single right now, man. Like, how the hell are you supposed to like hit up the sconcas? Like, how are you supposed to like go like hit up all the sucias? Like, where's it to go? You can't go anywhere to go hit up the sucias. Like, where are you going? Like, how are you even gonna hit on a chick now with wearing your mask? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, hey, girl, you look good with your mask on. Like, how are people like, getting it on right now? And I'm like, well, I guess like through Bumble, like through the dating apps and all that. He's like, yeah, but isn't that the same? Like, like you can go out on a picnic. Like, that's lame. Like, well, what are you like single guys doing? I'm like, well, I'm kind of seeing someone, like I kind of had to do that. And he's like, man, it's so different now. Like, being single must suck right now. And before I met the girl that I was dating, I was on a dry spell, man. And let me tell you, bro, that shit was terrible. 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 I was the same way. I'm like, dude, they got no freaking bars open. How the heck are you supposed to hit on chicks? Like, what were you supposed to do? And that's when I jumped on the the mask comes down and I like, that's hilarious. But yeah, I thought that was just hilarious. I don't know if you guys are going through that or not, because there's no like bars, nothing open where you could like, well, I guess there kind of is now, but like in the beginning there wasn't, and it was, I don't know how it got triggered, but that was hilarious. The conversation we had, because he's like, yeah, man, how the heck are you supposed to like hit on the freaking sushi? I was like, what the heck's going on? Like all the bars, like no one goes to them. It was just hilarious. But all right, guys, I'm gonna peace out. I'm gonna go to the gym. It was good chatting with you guys. We'll see you on Saturday for the live chat, and then tomorrow at 11 o'clock, Spence versus Garcia, the press conference. You can't see the chicks with their mask on, and they take it off, and you see their teeth, and you're like, I'm largo. I'm out of here. That's so true, man. That mask is so deceiving, bro. You can't tell what they look like. It's like you're hitting on like because they're like masked up, so you only see like their eyes. And what are you gonna tell them? Like, yo, girl, you got some like nice eyebrows. Like, I like that. I like how you thread your eyebrows. Like, give me a little peek. Put your little mask down, and it's like they're like Baraka. They're like Melina. You're like, what did I get myself into? Oh man. Well, hopefully stuff gets normal after all this, stuff gets normal. I really, really hope, and I really think it will. But yeah. Shout out to Baraka from Mortal Kombat 2. Oh man, I'm so mean. We used to call this girl in college Baraka because she had big teeth. She never knew what the hell we were talking about. And I think she started catching on. Okay, and then we started calling her Melina because Melina got some some chompers too, and all that. So, all right, you guys, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta get this workout in. Gotta get swole, bro. All right, take it easy, guys. Appreciate it. Peace out. Later.